Welcome, dear friends and Extinction Rebels, to our game, to the voting actually. So let me explain what our positions are, what the factions are. So, how's the voting? You can still vote. You can claim a character in game, like a scientist, for example, or you can also you can get a leader going. This guy is not claimed by anyone, as Turretman Victor Skobolev. So will be named after you, and then you get, if you don't actually already have a character, this man will get named after you. So if you have a character in game, you get one vote. You also get one vote for the poll. You get one vote for any comment that you make, like one comment max will get you that point. And if you're leading a faction in game, you have to vote for that faction. That's the disadvantage. The advantage is you get one more vote. And you get actually even one more vote plus that if you're the revered elder. So if you're leading that, and who is leading that? Friendly Eldrin all under heaven is is the leader of the Extinction Rebels now. A dinosaur has become the revered elder. So who will get a lot of voices now currently is the Galactic Cooperation Council. Currently ruling are the scholars of Gaia, scientists head of the scholars line. They want life, organic, pious polity, psionic pursuit, and homogeneity. And we're working on that. Also building temples. We have built ranger lodges, everything to get a little bit more unity and to honor life, things like that. So the different factions. Let's start with the faction that is on top. Head Guardian Andrea Necchi, former head of state, like 2 or 3 times, is still leading the faction. What he wants is conquest, aggressive diplomacy. We currently have, apparently, aggressive diplomacy, conquest, local rivalries, imperial hegemony and Leviathan Slayer, and a couple more points like that we as free voters can influence. And these are, what does he want? He wants to have a naval capacity around 80 or something, and also doubling the fleet to like 70 to 80. If that is at all possible, he wants to make big star bases at possible borders. Like, for example, that one. That is a big preference, to have a big border there. And also maybe improve the border at Tartavania. And the border here at Tartavania as well. And of course, down here at the Star Force, we also need something big. We've already started with that station. It's a trade hub currently, but we might change at least the Starholds. So he wants Starholds, definitely. He wants a big defense and a big fleet. Wants definitely to continue to develop our foreign legion on the Guilliman Defender Gaia world that we barely kept from the Tartavania. Then research focus should be combat prevalence. Cheapest first, but prefer combat when in doubt. So what does that mean? So if we have a selection here, we will choose the cheapest technology first, and if there's a tie, if the technologies cost the same, then we'll always go for combat battle or ship-centric one. This is, by the way, Sensei Borkas that we hired to fulfill the Scholars of Gaia agenda that we had. So more, after having a big fleet, we'll make a lot of defense platforms. We want to increase alloy production, and our expansion focus will be push borders at all costs. So we would want to expand even further in here, like to grab as much land as possible. We have done that here very effectively. I mean, we could have maybe grabbed a little bit more, but we also wanted to grab in that direction. So we would want to grab in there too. And as soon as possible, explore the natural wormhole, so we can expand somewhere else maybe. And that's the agenda of the Survival Guardians. So what are the other agendas? Let's have a look at the Scholars of Gaia, currently the ruling faction. They want psionics and homogeneity. Psionics, we don't really have the technology at the moment. We really want that, because with spiritual and, yeah, spiritual psionics, that is kind of connected, right? So, there's that. We also want homogeneity, so more people going to be spiritualists. We are already going for veneration of saints, but we will build definitely more temples. Probably another 3 more temples, maybe in another place. Mapping the stars, we will probably discontinue that with any faction, because there's not really much more to explore, not many anomalies to find. We might activate it later if we find maybe the L cluster or something like that. So there's that. What else do they want? An embattled minority. Yeah, believes the minority issue in Extinction Rebels will displease the Scholars of Gaia. So yeah, they are not a minority. What do we want? Yeah, we want maybe to hire more curator scientists. To enlighten us more, to get to psionics somehow. Research focus should be still to make the planets more habitable. And psionics and no terraforming. So this faction wants to keep the planets as they are. We have not really removed blockers there. And actually, like we have, for example, we have 2 blockers here on Alpha Centauri. What we could go for here is a Ranger Lodge, and the Ranger Lodge is better when you have naturally occurring blockers. It gives us unity from naturally occurring blockers. So 2 unity per blocker. So that supports this. Which means we could have that here as well. So let's see. Why can't we? No untouched nature remains on this planet for us to protect. Yeah. So we have nothing here. We have quicksand basins. But that seems not to be enough somehow. So the Ranger Lodge doesn't accept everything. But for example, we have this. For example, dangerous wildlife. Should be something. And there's a nature preserve here now. So let's have a look. What we have here, yeah, we have a nature preserve. Here produces 3. Probably because, yeah, as you can see here, the dangerous wildlife blockers produce 3. The deep sinkholes and the quicksand basin also produce 3 unity. So we have a lot of new planets coming that we're settling on, and we want to establish the Ranger Lodges there and a couple more temples. Expansion should be focused on planet grabbing and making a holy world possible. I'm not sure if we can get to a holy world. We have chosen other ascension perks, but in general, planet grabbing seems great, and getting these Ranger Lodges to preserve nature. So that is what we want as in the case of the Scholars of Gaia. Liam, of course, has a couple of votes ready for himself. And yeah, you can also join that faction and support these goals. And in general, we'll go more to the advancement side of things. Not in general, more to the research side of things, and maybe the economy side of things, and not so much into warfare. But still, we want to increase naval capacity to 40, which is a big thing, because the Scholarium penalty, as you can see here, is minus 30%, so we definitely want that. And like as a trick, we might want to improve the potential production of ships further. Like if we get to starholds, we want to have a couple of starholds with a couple of shipyards there to, in case of an emergency, we can quickly produce ships, a lot of ships. Then we come to the next faction, Galactic Cooperation Council. led by our leader, revered elder, friendly Eldrin, all under heaven. And we have also a couple of things here. Indirect Synology, passive study stance on native interference. That is something that has been deactivated by the Tartavanians, I think. All refugees welcome. Seems to have been deactivated. Federated, recent enlightenment, aggressive first contact protocols is a negative. But this is because... yeah, we want to set this back. For some kind of reason. Maybe it was the patch, maybe it was the incorporation through the Archduchy. It has set us back, and we don't really want that. So we will fix all of these things and definitely accept all refugees as quickly as we can. And this, as you have seen in our gameplay, is a big advantage because we get a lot of people there and we can help a lot of people. So that's very important for our great leader, friendly Eldrin, all under heaven. Because he really wants to protect all under heaven. And now we're coming to the extra agenda that we have. So we want to grab as many observation posts as possible to maybe help alien development. So what could that be here? Moscot is another thing, and we have Avim here. So these kinds of planets we all want to grab. Ada Sage too. Eswani civilization, at least observe there and maybe then interfere. We still want to improve the trade network development because there's still a couple of stations, or at least a couple of trade things that are not really connected. So we want to set strategic stations to like integrate trade network. Maybe a station here that will integrate all the trade network. Maybe a station like here, so not so much a border station, but a station that integrates the trade network. Want to increase the fleet by 100% for protection of aliens and primitives. And the expansion focus is definitely primitive planets, gateways, wormholes. So all the things where we find new civilizations, where we protect other civilizations. Naval capacity should be at least 50 because of the protection aspect of it. And maybe becoming free of the Archduchy that is not really friendly to others. They've recently become xenophobes. So that's a big problem for us. Then we have the Equality Circle, led by scientist asteroid man Viktor Skobelev. They're already very happy. Anti-autocratic, free movement, reproductive freedoms, anti-stratification. They would want to additionally increase living standards. We have a great selection of improvement for the living standards. So let me just show you. We can go for social welfare, or we can go for utopian abundance. Maybe we can manage to get up to social welfare. Maybe we can work towards getting to utopian abundance. That will not make all people so happy and give us also more research. So that is something that the equality circle wants. We have a lot of dinosaurs, we have a lot of humanoids, but also our new people, especially the Furbanites that help us colonize new worlds, need to be respected and need to be given some heads up. What else? We want to enlighten. We don't want to enlighten. We want to make maybe more medical development and maybe a resort world if possible. If we can reach the resort world technology, it would be nice to have a resort world somewhere. And yeah, that's going to be cool. So everyone can make like some kind of holidays there. So research focus would be like happiness, equality, things like that. Whereas research focus under the Galactic Cooperation Council before would be diplomatic. So if you want our people to fare better, like all of them, then go for the Equality Circle. If you want more foreign contacts and more foreign relations and better foreign relations, go for the Galactic Cooperation Council. If you want more military, go for the Survival Guardians. I mean, all of them want more military, but the Survival Guardians want extremely more, like an extreme amount of military. And the Scholars of Gaia want to reach psionics, maybe contact the Shroud, and like enlighten us and other people. And especially the thing with keep the planets livable and build all these ranger lodges for more unity of the people. So as you can see, we get quite some unity from the blockers. And the blockers are also not necessary to remove to reach the full planet size. They're just needed to unlock certain numbers of districts. But as you have a high number of districts there, it's usually not necessary to remove a certain blocker. You can live with them. You just have to distribute differently. So that's the 4 factions. As I said, you can vote just normally under the video with a comment. That's one way to vote. Then you can choose additionally an in-game leader. There are a lot of leaders that don't really have any names. Like some are already taken, like Ethan Feldman, for example, Liam, Chandale, Friendly Chandale II. But for example, you could take Sensei Borkas, who lives very long, or you could take our new General Monarch Pock, or you could take like most people we have are scientists, so you could take one of them, or you could take a governor. Yeah, maybe not former Elder Gale Bradbrook, but someone younger, like Magdalena de la Guardia, a unifier. And then you get an extra vote from being in-game, and if you're leading a faction, you need to vote for that faction, but you get another vote, another vote weight, and then if you're leading our civilization, you get another vote. Like here, our revered elder, Friendly Eldrin, all under heaven. The first dinosaur in this position. We're all very proud. So thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. Have a great time until next time. Vote, vote, vote. Go out and vote. We needed a good decision to make, and every one of you has a good mind, has a good brain, can vote their soul, their opinion, their amusement maybe. Just go out and vote, and the result will definitely influence what we do as the Extinction Rebels to survive. So have a great time until next time. Go vote and happy gaming. See you soon with the results.